Thoughts on lack of attack speed on Divine Sunder and champs like Camille Fiora? I mean, it's alright. You can play around lack of attack speed. You can take Alacrity runes. Most champions that will use Divine Sunder, in my opinion, have some form of attack speed steroid or auto attack reset, so you can use that as a tool. It's not too bad, I think. When bot should swap with top for Herald? That's way too wide of a question and too hard for me to answer. You think the Renekton nerfs will make him unviable and competitive? If the Renekton nerfs are you heal a bit less on Q, no, I don't think so. Jace is very good for climbing, yes. If you're very good at Jace, it's good. If you're not so good at Jace, not so good. Who do you think is the best top laner to carry higher yellow? Whatever you're good at, that's what I believe in. The absolute best for me right now would probably be... I don't know actually. I have a bunch of champions that I like playing that I'm good at, and I'll use them in the right matchups. That's how I feel right now. I like Renekton when I have a good matchup. I like Volibear when I have a good matchup. I like Urgot. I like Wukong. I like Pantheon. He got nerfed a bit, but I still think he's fine. I like Camille. I like Jace. I like Gangplank. I like Victor. Yeah, and I have a bunch more. So for me, I just play what I enjoy playing. Uvos, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. Sorry for missing you earlier. Why do I have her Kaisa? It's my girlfriend's favorite champion. It's a nudge to her, you know, a nudge like a wink perhaps. That's a bit more romantic than a nudge, I guess. What matchups should you be looking to pick Volibear into? I don't want to reveal too much of my reasoning behind picking Volibear, but generally speaking, any champion that Volibear can hit. That's the idea. If you can stick onto that champion, generally speaking, it's a decent matchup. I don't think Camille is actually a bad matchup at all for Volibear. I just have success playing it in competitive because a lot of Camille players have the idea of scaling up and farming, and that's exactly what I want to do with my Volibear build. So, in my opinion, this matchup is right about even. Like, if Camille gets ahead, it's not that easy for Volibear, but even when Camille gets ahead, it's not like she can hard force on Volibear, so you get to farm as Volibear, which is the important part for me. I think Volibear gets items, this champion can be very, very strong, and that's what I play for. I like Victor into Gangplank, and that's about it right now. I don't like Victor into any other top laner, really, but I'm sure if you can play him to success, then he's a great champion, so... I could probably make him work into other matchups too. It's just not something I've explored too much. Aatrox is still a great solo queue pick if you're good at Aatrox. Yes. I'm going to break it to you guys. Every single champion is a good solo queue pick if you're good at it. That's just the way it is. If you're better on average without one particular champion than everybody else in your MMR, it's good for solo queue because you're going to perform better. And if you're going to perform better, you're going to climb one way or another. The bigger sample size, the better. And you have to be honest with yourself that you're actually good at the champion, of course. Just saying, I can play Malzahar top lane. Or a one-trick Malzahar top lane can climb playing Malzahar top lane. Is it particularly good? No. If he's better at Malzahar than the average players on his MMR and he knows how to get past the weaknesses of Malzahar top lane to then get to his strong point, Malzahar top lane will climb. Same with Volibear. Same with Kayn top lane. Same with even Swain. This is just the way it is. Brand top lane, Viego top lane, Twitch top lane. Like, I know RatIRL play Twitch top lane in Challenger, you know? Like, it's... Like, there's so many one-tricks, and I'm not saying Rat is a one-trick here, but... there's so many people that excel at one particular champion, even though that champion isn't particularly strong and hit Challenger. It should be proof that you can play whatever the fuck you want, as long as you're really good at it. If you're better than average people in your MMR playing Yasuo jungle, you will climb playing Yasuo jungle, yes. Yuumi solo lane? Surprisingly, if you build correctly, you will still climb with Yuumi solo lane. But you're going to have to find a build that works, and that's the hard part. I don't recommend it, and it's probably painful as hell, but you'll be able to do it if you spend enough time and effort. You're probably not going to build her as a support. You're probably going to buy like Gale Force and shit, because, you know, press a button and deal 400 damage. Bans Yuumi? Yeah, this champion skews the game when it's played in the support role, so it doesn't really provide me great practice. Fradax Scrub Noob? Yeah, that's awesome. I noticed that this morning, actually. That's actually really awesome. The guy is very, very good at Rengar. I'm creating meta for gold silver. What I'm trying to tell you is that there is no meta in gold silver. It doesn't exist. It's whatever people believe it to be. People that believe, oh, this champion is strong, is the way it's gonna go. Like, to me, I feel like there's way too many individual players to say that there's champions that overperform. Yes, obviously. But a lot of these champions are just not that good. And if you know how to play around their weaknesses, it's probably going to work out, you know? Aatrox or Sett? I think I'll play a Sett game. I don't like playing against Ivan or Khan, but I wanted to play a Sett game. Just to warm up with him. Make sure that I can play him if need be. I think this champion is quite underrated. Like, again, let me put it this way. Let's say the most overperforming champion in low MMR is Garen. If you're a silver Camille player, if you know how to beat Garen with Camille, you're going to carry most games, you know? That's all you need. That's the one skill you need to learn, how to play Garen Camille. And every time you see Garen, you pick Camille, you'll probably have a really high win rate if you know how to pilot Camille. It'll take you some games to learn that, but that matchup is really bad for Garen because, well, if you don't mess up early game, it reaches a point where you can make fun of him for the rest of the game with your true damage. Prestige skin, not like the normal one actually. Which champions overperform? Well, you'd have to look at win rates. I'm not sure which champions overperform in lower MMRs. I'm aware of the usual overperformers. You know, usually Darius, Garen, these champions overperform by a little bit. You know, there's offenders like Malphite and Rammus that always have great win rate. How do you beat Darius' Volibear? The problem with me explaining to you how to beat Darius' Volibear is I would teach people how to play Volibear. And I noticed that a lot of people don't know how to play Volibear. Even professionals don't play Volibear that well. And the concept of beating Darius is the same as the concept you need to know in order to win lanes as Volibear. So it's not something that I like teaching people. Not right now, at least, because it's a niche pick that it seems like no one really plays. Perhaps it's going to catch on in popularity once people realize how strong he is. But as long as I see these Gauntlet or Chem Tank Volibears, I'm not worried. I don't think this champion is very good when you build him like that. Thoughts about Poppy? I think she's quite good. Isn't it kind of silly that Sett's W or E scaling is only 15 damage per level? I don't think that's silly. I think that's fine. He gets cooldown reduction per point, which is quite good. It's obviously, I mean, yeah, in the past it was much higher, and that's why they nerfed it. But yeah, I personally don't mind it being the way it is. What's the best build on Volley? I think my build is the best build on Volley. That's why I built it. What are the weaknesses of Rammus? I think early game, and some particular champions perform very well into him. Alright, let's go this. I like Doran's Blade against Volibear because generally speaking, when you're going to be fighting Volibear, it's probably going to be a fight to the death. You know, when you pick a fight, you both get to choose whether it's an all-in or not. And if one or the other tries to give, then the other can commit to an all-in. And that's what I'm looking for right now. Trinity and Volibear, I think it's a very good item, yes. What mythic item do I like on Wukong? I think I haven't played him since the Core Drinker Nurse, but I think Trinity Force is a fine item. I even think you can go Stride Breaker on this champion. It's quite interesting. You can do some tricky stuff with that. So yeah, it would be Stride Breaker, Trinity Force, or Gore Drinker in my opinion. Divine Sunder is alright. I agree, I love the skin too. Any chance we see GP on stage to split? I think the chance definitely exists. I have not tried Bruiser Kha'Zix top, no. How crucial of a nerf was Seraph's shield removal for Ryze top? I don't think it made much of a difference, because usually when Ryze hit the point where he had his Seraphs finished, the matchup that he was in usually was decided. Either he was hard losing or hard winning. And that was kind of the problem with Ryze, is that he had no in-between. So I just need to make sure that I face check the bush a little bit late here. If I face check it too early, Ivern can come and mess with me, and I do not want that to happen. So 125, 126, I'm going to face check this bush. There's no one in here, I'm going to drop a ward. He doesn't have the leash, so it doesn't really make sense for him to be in that bush. So I'm just going to go ahead and ward it, and then drag the wave here. I could have dragged the wave a little bit better, but I'm just going to go ahead and be happy with this. This is perfectly fine. Usually you play against bone plating when you play Sett, so be mindful on whether or not to skill E. And if you do skill E, don't hesitate to take a minute to test their rune setup. What I'm trying to say with testing their rune setup is Don't throw out your E. Like, if I grab him right now with E, it's obviously good because he has E, and he has it on cooldown, so... So even though he has bone plating in this particular situation, I can still take that trade because his E's on cooldown. Now he E's the wave. That was a mistake because now I can get to freeze the wave. Not freeze it, but he's going to lose some CS here because he doesn't really have a great combat spell unless he has Q ranked. Looks like everyone is looking for a mid gank here. So right now I just need to make sure I don't get ganked by the Cyvern as he is top side, and my jungler is slowly but surely pathing towards me. So right now is my window to start pushing, hit level 3 here. Again, when Volibear starts E like this, it's important that you make him lose some CS. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, especially if he positions his E poorly like he is right now. Like, he's putting his E in a way where it's hitting all the creeps without CSing half of them, so he's just losing a crap ton of farm is what he's doing. And that's perfectly fine by me, right? If the enemy is bleeding CS by me having to do nothing, then why should I interact with him is the way of thinking here. Right now I'm not interacting with him for that simple reason. Now I'm going to interact with him a little bit here, because I can chuck this huge W and then push in the wave, and now if he wants to commit to this trade, it's going to be always bad for him because I have the wave with me. So all I need to do now is just create an awkward situation for him where I trade 1-for-1. I don't think the 1-for-1 was worth it, all things considered. I should have just, as soon as he cast the E and Q, I could have just waited until his spells were down and then went in, but I was getting excited, so I went for a solo bowl there. It's about even the trade, I would say. The upside of doing it like this is I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to be able to save TP because the wave's bouncing to me. But again, after taking his flash and putting him in that situation, all I need to do is wait until his cooldowns are down. We're all TPing bot. Is going to be a total fiesta, and it's a very good one for us, of course, as I get a multi-man E here. I have a huge W here, so it would be nice if my team could commit. No? I feel like my team was a bit useless there. My bad. Still, the wave is in a great position for me, so it's going to be pretty doomed for Volibear. Even though I TP bot and die, it's surprisingly still good for me. That's the way it works. When the wave bounces and we both TP, still very good. I think I fucked up. Xayah flashed my E, which is very good by her. If she didn't flash that E, I would have been carrying that fight really hard. But yeah, I mean, Volibear, even though he gets kills here, he's still not happy. He doesn't have any chain. He doesn't have any Bramble components, so that's very good for me because Bramble Vest is definitely a deciding factor in bruiser versus bruiser matchups like this. I should have grabbed the pink. I don't know why I didn't. But yeah, I mean, he comes to this wave. I get to catch all of this. Not in a great position, but not in a terrible one either. If I could have traded 1-for-1 at least, I would have been in a great position, but unfortunately wasn't the case. So I'm just going to have to be happy with a little healthy 10 CS lead here. It's going to grow to like 15 about by the time he shows up here. As I collect the majority of this minion wave. In this position, all I want to do right now is catch this wave, have it bounce, farm it all, and then look for another juicy base. We're looking at Pickaxe for the recall, as I want to rush the Stride Breaker. If I notice that he's not going for any Bramble Vest components, which doesn't seem like he is, what I can do is very simple. I can go towards Blade of the Ruined King. And with Blade of the Ruined King, I can actually contest him and duel him. Now, Blade of the Ruined King against the rest of their comp is pretty bad. However, on the flip side... Wait, my mid has 15 CS. That's not good. On the flip side of Blade of the Ruined King... Sorry, as I was focusing on a trade there. Just want to make sure that when I leave the trade here, I don't give him another W. Right now, I'm just popping my potions and abusing the fact that I have sustain and levels on him. So, a fight here is going to be always good for me. As he wants to die, it seems. I don't know what he was smoking, but I will gladly take a kill. We whiffed the EQ, so it's going to be difficult for me to be able to do anything there. He was so focused on not letting me freeze that he forgot that I could just kill him, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there, but not too bad at all. If Ivern continues, like walks up and freezes this wave, we honor him. That just means he's jungling well, and that's a-okay by me. I don't particularly mind. The recall timing for me is right now, and like I mentioned, because he has not grabbed any anti-healing, gives me the window to go Blade of the Ruined King and just beat him to death here. I'm almost a full level up on him, as you'll notice. I'm almost level 7, and he's about to ding 6. I think he needs one, maybe even more than one wave here. So I'm going to go ahead and work towards a Blade of the Ruined King and use the fact that I'm so far ahead of him to really crush him. Because, as you'll see, Zyra Khan, Ivern, it's a lot of team fighting potential, you know, a lot of good team fighting champions. Avoiding team fights here, not a bad play at all. So in this position, what you'll notice me do is I'll do the same thing with the freeze, and what I'll aim for in this particular situation, as I dodge his E here, it's important when you play against Volibear, that you dodge out the Volibear E. Does a lot of damage, slows you for 2 extra seconds. So what I'm going to be trying to do here is just be annoying with this wave. I have lifesteal, I have refillable potions, he has neither. So I'm going to just punch this wave right in front of him, just taunt him a little bit, you could say, and just freeze the wave right here as I lifesteal back up any of the excess damage. He uses E here, which is very good for me. Again, without E, I can easily crush him in a one-on-one in the situation we're in, so I'm just going to deny him CS as I heal back up what health I lost. Again, if he doesn't go for a CS, I don't need to punish. He's not farming. There's no need to overextend for the E. No need for me to give him more CS. Eventually, I'll deny him more CS just like this, as you'll see. I denied him 3 CS without even doing anything. There's no need for me to walk up and E him. Yes, I can get a good trade, but it's unnecessary. I'm not in a position where this really matters right now. I'm going to ward the lane as I think it's the most effective gank pattern for Ivern in this situation. I haven't seen Ivern mid or bot, even though there's a lot of pressuring, so he could be hiding behind them, or I could be getting ganked. I'm not sure which. Either way, Volibear stacked up his passive, which means he's trying to fight here. I'm just going to go ahead and ult here. Do I die here? I think I do, right? Yeah. Ivern does a little bit too much damage. Ivern and Volibear. Like, I tanked too much. I was trying to bait too much. If I just ult and flash away immediately, I think I'm fine there. But I was trying to bait. Maybe I could outplay them or something. Because I do think there's some action required, considering... Like, I need to do something in this lane. That's the way it is. Like, I need to do something. I dodged this Volibear ult damage, but I just got mauled anyway. It's a bit unlucky. I should have played a bit smarter, I think. That was, like, their only window to gank. And that's going to be a kill for Volibear. Actually, no. His W wasn't up yet. Nice play by Jarvan. Why he tapped Daisy. Either way, I think not the worst, not the worst. Obviously not great. It's looking like a mighty team diff, but that happens. I'm going to see what we can do again there. I could have done a little bit better, I think, if I had respected Ivern's gank angle. It was obvious he was looking top. Like, everyone was pressuring, and Ivern wasn't really showing up for dives or like hitting turrets or anything, so it was obvious he was looking for a topside gank. Not much I could do about that, unfortunately. And what I mean by that, I couldn't stop him from ganking top, so all I had to do was just survive, because Volibear was stacking up his passive, so it was obvious that he was looking for a fight. Again, he has no Bramble and I do, so in a one-on-one, I still beat the shit out of him. It's important that in this one-on-one that I actually can commit and hit him. Like, that was the downside of the fight I took with the Ivern. I was trying to run away a little bit too much here. Right now, again, I could get chain ganked here. It's a little bit rough, but in this position, I'm going to have to just fight to the death like a man. If Volibear leaves like this and doesn't use the fact that he... can chain his W's, which he barely did there, actually. Get it? Barely. I should just commit to the trade. That was the... Like, that's the idea, like, right now. I'm going to queue the turret here to try and get a play. As I have Bramble, he can actually hit me and stuff, so I need to make sure... Like, he doesn't realize he can hit... He's not a top lane main, it seems, because he doesn't understand that he can hit me to aggro the turret. I want to ult him into the next creep wave that comes. It looks like he finally realized he can hit me. Again, this is going to be okay. What I want to do here is I want to ult him into the next minion wave, and then I want to EW him. Okay, he flashes immediately. Ivern's probably going to show up soon, so I'm just trying to lifesteal as much as I can here. Because if Ivern shows up, I'm pretty dead, but again, in this position, I just want to pressure. Ivern's bot, perfect. Cast E. So as soon as the shield goes down, I'm going to go ahead and walk up and just punch him. If I get the shield, I'll be able to trade 1-for-1, and that's good enough for me. I need resources, I need gold, I need to buy this item and stuff, and that's what I need. Right now, I don't have... Like, again, if Jarvan wants to do his camps here, even though there's so much action earlier, I could have spam pinged my jungler, that was my bad. But again, if Jarvan is not paying attention to the map, I'm going to make the play myself. Trading kills like this when you're behind is not bad because it means you get resources. Again, it's not bad for Volibear either, because he's probably going to finish Divine Sunder, but if he finishes Divine Sunder, I still have Bramble Vest on him. He won't have a Bramble Vest, and I will. And that's a pretty big deal. I'm going to TP on the flag here and just commit to this fight. If Volibear commits, he does, so I'm going to TP here. This is a very good fight. As Viego sprints it down to get the possession. I think that was... he was literally possessed IRL, you know? He was so tunnel visioned on the possession that he was willing to die for it. I'm not going to complain about that. Let me have a look at the... Heitori Vahashi, Arkand, and Crony, thank you all for subscribing. So in this situation, same thing as earlier, right? When the wave is bouncing, so I crashed the wave and then TP, the wave's usually going to be in a good position for you, and that's exactly what happened. The wave's in a good position for me. In this particular situation, I'm going to want to ping Jarvan here and let him know that I want to go for this top turret. Because we have 1 minute left on plates. Normally I would slow push my wave there / freeze it, but in this particular situation, just grabbing this... gonna be good enough. I just want to beat on this turret here and just have the Herald crash and finish it. Again, taking the first turret here, maybe not even first. I don't know what the situation or health is bot. But getting the plates at the very least. It is the first turret, which is great. Getting the plates at the very least is going to give us a nice boost in gold that otherwise wouldn't have been possible. Again, he has Divine Sunderer, I have Blade the Ruined King, so we're about equal in terms of completed item power. But I have anti-healing. This is why, friends, you buy anti-healing. Oh, shit. That's not good. I still think I can win if I just keep punching. Yes, sir. Again, if you had healing, anti-healing, it would not be winnable. But again, anti-healing, it makes a huge difference in Bruiser 1v1s. Please, if you're playing any type... I shouldn't be teaching people this, right? Like, I really don't want people to buy anti-healing when I'm playing Volibear and stuff. Like, it's one of the nice things about playing against Camille. Like, anti-healing really sucks for her because it delays her spike, so she doesn't really want to build it. That's why one of the reasons why I like that matchup. Anyway, yeah, I shouldn't be trying to teach people to buy anti-healing, huh? Don't buy anti-healing, guys. At least not when you're playing against me. I'm gonna walk mid here, see what I can do to salvage some of the situation. I can't match the Xayah when Ivern and Rakan are around her without my ult at least. Ideally also get a Starax. I mean, I could go for Stridebreaker here, but because of how Rakan works, you know, he charms you, bursts you, and if you don't tank the RW, you're dead. So I'm gonna go Starax first. Ideally I grab Stridebreaker first, as I could kill people with it much easier, but unfortunately if I don't survive I won't be able to land any damage, so let's go for this first. Ivern is likely topside based on how the map was being played earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and look for a one-on-one here. If he face checks me, I think I'll be able to kill him quite easily. I'll flash here just to make sure. I don't know if he has flash or not. I don't know if he's going to try anything tricky, but getting that solo kill is huge for me. I would have liked to farm this, but my mid laner shows up to take the farm, so that's a-okay. Jarvan's pretty hard stuck in the cage there in the 1 versus many. Pretty unfortunate. If I can defend this turret, it would be good. Again, ideally here, we look to punish any overextensions from the enemy team, so I'm not showing. If the enemy team overextends here, I could profit. Get something going. That's not going to be it, unfortunately. Got a big W here, but it's not going to be good enough. I'm going to run here. I don't want to die, ideally. He doesn't even die. Unlucky. I'm down to FF. Syndra. I shouldn't have even tried, I guess. It was a bad play by me. My bad. I wanted to ult the Ivern, but Xayah wasn't there, so I was hoping we could, like, you know, make a quick play on this guy and kill him, but it wasn't the case, so we end up losing out. Oh well. That happens. Why was Jarvan going in there? No idea. He felt like he thinks he's very strong and has to carry, so he makes that play, when in reality he should just play on me. So when I solo kill Viego bot like that, he should just play on me. But unfortunately, he has a different idea in mind. Just try to carry himself, so he tried to make a play on the Ivern, I think, Ivern and Volibear, and then their dual bot showed up and it wasn't very good anymore. That's a-okay. It happens. Right here I get the short end of the stick, and what I mean by that is I'm a side laning bruiser that has to go mid because my teammates want to take the side lane farm, which really sucks for me because again I can probably carry this game if they just let me have the side lane and like push all the way and just kill Volibear or thingy on repeat, or Viego on repeat, but you know, Syndra and Ashe don't want to do that. They want to take the farm themselves. That's okay. This is not a great position to fight in. I'm coming, but there's a Volibear here. Let's leave. I don't want to take these fights. They're pretty bad. No need for us to fight these, please. I will go bot here and grab my Starks. That's what I'm going to do. Like right now, I just... No, let me have side lane, please. It's really not playable. No, I need this. Like, I don't mind giving farm to my teammates, but in this position, I can't not farm this because Ashe fucked my wave top. Like, she fucked the wave top. She went top and didn't push it all the way. Like, right there, she should never go mid. She should just go all the way. If you're gonna go top, at least commit, you know? Fix the wave, make it better. If you die, you die. Don't go top in the first place if you're gonna die, right? Like, he made the mistake of going top, so he should commit to that mistake and at least make the game more playable. But because this guy ruined the wave and then... Like, because he ruined the wave and Syndra and then ends up going mid, so Syndra can't farm mid, it's just a really fucked situation because people's wave management is abysmal. But that's okay. I'm gonna fight him to the death here. Stun here. And that's a kill. Yeah, just because he has 7 kills doesn't mean he beats me 1-1. Even with the anti-healing in this situation, Sett is pretty strong. I think he underestimated me. He also tanked my W in the face. He didn't ult over me for some reason. He ulted on top of me, so I just blocked his ult damage. So the thing is, if he ults over me, I block his ult damage, which is obviously pretty good. But not only do I block his ult damage, I also hit him with the W. So it's a pretty rough situation for him to be in. Fortunately for me, Volibear is donating me a lot of kills on the side lane, so I'm going to go ahead and push this wave all the way in. I can't push more now because I would just die. So again, I mess up the wave here, but at least I got a solo kill in the tower, right? Like, there's a reason behind it. It's not like I messed up the wave for fun. I feel like movement speed is a little bit more valuable than the Iron Spike Whip, but I could be wrong here. Again, in this position, I'm just going to take over, like, I want to just go top and take over the wave. This guy is useless and will never be useful in this game because of how poorly he played his early game, so I don't really care that I'm taking his farm. If he wants to get carried, he should let me carry. That's just the way it is. If he doesn't want to get carried and he wants to share farm with me, nothing I can do about that. But he should realize he's never going to be a champion, so all the farm should not go to him. I don't mind him farming bot, for example, but in this position, it's for sure me carrying. Stridebreaker or Gore Drinker, in my opinion, it's always Stridebreaker. Taking this item is far superior. I'm going to take a TP here because it does look like a good fight setup. Well done by Jarvan to get that, but I have to cancel the E there. I don't know, I'm getting kind of griefed in these fights. Would be really nice. Oh, great stun by Rel. Helps me one-shot the guy. I'll just keep beating on him here. I don't have a choice, unfortunately. Yeah, I can't beat Volibear when he has so much healing and shielding, unfortunately. But again, my teammates are pretty useless here, and even though it was a nice setup by Jarvan, the teamfight execution by my teammates was really bad. They weren't kiting towards me, they were running away from me, trying to live. I'll play the game out at this point, because if we wanted to FF, we should have FF'd the 15. At this point, I want to commit to playing it out because I'm pretty strong and maybe I can do something. I don't know what this is about. I don't think this fight is ever winning, but maybe I'm wrong. I think we just don't have anti-healing, and Ivern is obviously going to be too potent with Moonstone in this particular fight, so I don't really understand why we felt the need to pick that fight, to be honest. But that's life, you know. If teammates don't want to wait on you, sometimes you can't carry. I tried my best, I think, this game. I'd say okay, nothing wrong with that. Just kill the Herald, please. Yikes. Oh, at least they fixed the Herald. Let's farm everything I can. Again, I need Stridebreaker to get some more access to people in order to kill them. Nash is gone. Nothing I can do about that. That's just the way it is. They don't have anti-healing, so Volibear, obviously these three are going to be really hard. He has to hit me for me to apply anti-healing. That's the downside of my build, but ultimately, other people in my game should be buying anti-healing. Same idea here, even though I know Jarvan's coming to farm this, like, I'm the only champion that's going to be able to carry this game if we're going to have any chance at winning, because obviously when I press tab, every single player on my team is far weaker than their counterpart, except me, which, not to say Volibear is weak in this position, he's definitely not weak, but he's for sure not as strong as me. So I need to keep that in control. I need to keep it that way. I need to be stronger than him at all points, and hopefully he makes mistakes and contests me on side lane again. 2 levels makes a huge difference. You might be wondering in terms of items and gold, he might be ahead of me. Not in this particular case, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. It's a nice try. We're super out of sync in this particular, in these instances. I never feel like we're... I'm gonna flash stun this guy here, get a huge W. My W got cancelled, that's unlucky. Not gonna be able to get a kill here, unluckily. I have my Star Axe pop, but Rakan is coming with his ult. I need to dodge the W, but the charm will be enough. That's going to be game. Unfortunate, my ulti didn't cancel his possession, so he got to live in that particular situation. It's unlucky. If my ult went through there and I kill him and maybe I get a triumph, I can do some more work, but the game was just not playable. There's too much difference in the bottom side. That happens. I tried my best to carry that game, but I made a couple of mistakes. Like trading 1-for-1 top wasn't as good. I died to the Ivern gank when I didn't need to. And these are the first two things that come to mind to me in as to why I couldn't carry. Jarvan tried his best, but it wasn't a winnable game in the end. Volibear did some damage. I don't like this build as much though. I think it's just worse than Trinity Force. Ollie KB, thank you for the Prime sub.